Okay then, everybody, to the Project Overload live stream. I'm your host. Okay then, everybody, to the project. There's a bit of a delay. There will be a delay between me seeing your questions and between me answering them. Since the beginning, you know that what we like to do for the live stream is you ask questions and I answer them. So remember to share the link. So Jared, share the link. Jared. And I see you are, in fact, the first comment. The only viewer right now. Only for you, big boy. Oh, 2 viewers. Sweet. Make your presence known. So a lot of things going on this past. I know it's hard to tell. Androgynous body, but I am in fact a mang. Oh, a mango. I'm a mango. Also a meat popsicle. I'm live. We can't both be live. That's not how this works. I gave warning of intent. I'll watch you later. What are you live about? 3 viewers. We're moving up in the world. Am I a synth? No. Bruh. What would be cool? What would be cool? Say something. Say something, I'm giving up on you. I promise never to do that again. I promise. That would be cool. That would be. You have my number if you want to call me. Answer you. I did answer you. I told you I'm not a synth. As far as you know. Dun dun dun. Project Overload would like to know you that we're an equal opportunity employer. Welcome. I only take orders from one man, and you are not Blue or Robin Williams. Doesn't everybody else miss Robin Williams? A talent gone much too soon. I was just recently watching some Robin Williams movies, actually. And you can really tell how old someone is. You can really tell how old someone is from what they remember Robin Williams or Tim Curry from. And for me, it's always gonna be Mrs. Doubtfire. That is my first Robin Williams film. And as for Tim Curry, it's Congo. So you can tell I was growing up in the 90s. Oh, I just figured out how Snapchat works. Legit. A really cool thing. I for technology, and Snapchat now has augmented reality as one of their options. Augmented reality works. I played with it earlier, and it's awesome. I enjoy playing with it. I enjoy the augmented reality. I'm really looking forward to more apps of augmented reality coming forward. You are not going to enjoy 2049, sir. I can tell. Let's see here. So for I have a caller. Yes, caller. Hello, caller. Thank you. I'm talking to you on my show. See? Oh, you can't see you. The light the light glares the light glares way too much. So there's a bit of a delay, as you can see. Oh, are you on your phone for that as well? Oh, well, there's a slight delay. So, uh, our first live caller, ladies and gentlemen. So, what do you got going on, Lauren? Not doing a whole a, a mini Super Nintendo. I spent many a day playing Super Nintendo. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second, Lauren. I've got another call coming in. Yes, caller. I'm sorry, caller. Our show is sin friendly. What's up? When does that movie come out? By the way, the new Blade Runner. Because I'm very interested in seeing the new Blade Runner. I can barely hear you on my phone, so maybe taking live callers isn't very good on live. um, well, let's get the ball rolling again with the questions from YouTube. So, if you have a question, go ahead and post it in the comments, and I will happily answer your questions as they roll in. Keep in mind that there's going to be a between you posting your question and me actually answering it. So, uh, while we wait for new questions, I'll tell you a fun story. So there's this photon who's going through airport security, and they ask him if he has any luggage that he'd like to check. And the photon looks at the TSA agent and says, "Nope, I'm traveling light." That's right, jokes. Oh well, there's no one on my phone anymore, Lauren. We here at Project Overload have decided that taking live callers on our show is not something that we're looking forward to doing right now. Thank you. Uh, we may try that again in the future with scheduled live callers. Until then, we're gonna try to just look at the live chat for uh, for our questions. So, what's up? That is a good question. What is up? Is anything up? I believe most things are actually down, except for violent crime. Ha ha! And racism. Those are things that are never down because the world sucks. But enough about politics. Let's talk about something a lot happier, calmer joy. So Puerto Rico is completely and utterly fucked right now. There is no power for months. Uh, getting any aid to Puerto Rico is a logistical nightmare. There aren't enough truck drivers, and of course, this is just with the hurricane slogged through there. Also, the fact that they're $10 billion in debt, and as an American territory, they don't have access to uh, the same kind of buyouts that America does, that the United States at large do. So they can't file Chapter 13 bankruptcy. No, no, I don't. Here's why I don't think that about the people. If you're willing to buy something, then you have already turned it in. You've already given your share to the company that produced it. And giving your share to the company that produced it makes it yours, and you're entitled to do whatever you want with your property. I mean, I'd want to keep it because limited edition literally means that there's not going to be very much. Of course, you know, that's creating a real market, and people will take advantage of the market. That's just the way capitalism works. So it's going to happen. Anyone making a little profit off of something that they pay for. Now, people who get those as like a gift, or people who steal those because that happens and then sells it, they are most definitely assholes. You got people who are buying now. If, say they buy it in bulk, if they buy like 10 or 20 of them, making a profit. Okay, that's a dick move, Jose. Sorry, Jose, I didn't mean to use your name in that. It's a dick move. If you buy one item with the intention of selling it at a slightly higher price after you hold out and wait for it to go down, then that's not an issue. But then again, like I said, buying like bulk with the intention of selling all of them, that's kind of a problem. Um, because exactly what you said, people who want to buy it to use it will lose out. So if you buy, like I said, if you're buying it in bulk and you're selling it for $300 on eBay, then that's an issue. If you buy one item with the intention of reselling it, that's on you. It's an iffy thing because it's about telling people what they can and can't do with their own property, and that's just not something I can do. I I don't think you're a dick if you buy one. Carter does. Jimmy Carter definitely wins in a fist fight. Farmer. Farmers. Well, then again, Clinton's from Arkansas, and they're pretty scrappy out there. So I don't know. That's a good question. No, I mean it's not a great question, but it's a good question. I don't know that I'd want to see any politician in a bear. Well, that's not true either. There are a few. Good question as well. Presidential Carter would definitely win. Man was in his prime. So I guess the real question is: are we talking about if fighting each other at the time? Yeah, anybody would. That nobody wins in that fight. Nobody does. This is two really old guys fighting. So, and I would love for it to make a comeback. maybe as a YouTube channel. It was hilarious. Let's be honest. I mean, you got kind of a similar idea with the death battles, but I mean, those are for fictional characters for the most part. Celebrity death match. That was really a Comedy Central gem. Really was. Number one in television for me. Old people fight. Next, we're bringing in bum fights. So be ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. Bums, one sandwich. So, Ben Shapiro or Milo? I want to say that they both lose. I feel like they're going to knock each other out. They're either that or they're going to make out because they're going to love each other for their belief system. Look, first off, Milo is a terrible person. Okay, and Ben Shapiro is a terrible, terrible person. Be honest, between the two of them, I'd rather talk to a turkey sandwich. And it's just my personal opinion. Don't take it to heart. Again, I think that they're really good at what they do. That is my liberal agenda. That is exactly what that is. On the liberal agenda today, eat a turkey sandwich. Define liberal agenda. Liberal agenda is an agenda in which things are taken liberally, such as how much turkey I'm putting on my sandwich. I'm going to be very liberal with that. My name is Jeff is correct. You've just been grammar Nazi'd, apparently. Grammar is a fun thing to talk about. The rules of grammar don't actually matter. For example, most of the rules of grammar were made up by old, racist, hateful, angry people. We barely use any of the rules today. The only rule that people seem to get up in arms about is literally versus figuratively. So when you say literally and use it figuratively, is it's okay, actually. Jane Eyre did it. I've not had a chance to play Mass Effect Andromeda yet. I've not gotten an Xbox One. However, I would love to play Mass Effect Andromeda. It's suffered from some bugs. I don't know much about the storyline. I do know that it's people who went to the Andromeda Galaxy, so obviously because Andromeda. But I love Mass Effect. I do. I love the original Shepard series, and I think that the ending wasn't what a lot of people wanted, because I think a lot of people were gearing up for a attack on the Reapers. But I was fine. I was fine with the ending. Of course, the first time I played through, I got the third option. So I always play Paragon for some reason. Whenever I'm giving a choice, I like to believe that I'm evil. My name is the villain, for example, and or Satanfish, whichever one you want to take. And I like to say that I am the most evil being on the planet. And yet, every time I'm given the choice, I play a Paragon character. Go figure. So, which fictional characters do I ship? Well, everybody. I love the Destiel bromance. I don't ship Wincest. That's just weird. Very weird. I'm a big fan of I enjoy the back and forth between Castiel and Dean, and so Destiel is one of my favorite internet ships. Um, I would love to see Coulson end up with May in Marvel's Agents of Shield. Just Ming Na Wen, please bring this to the editors, to the directors, to the writers of this series. You guys deserve each other. I don't. I always thought James was gay. I feel like James is chasing Ash for more than just his Pikachu, if you know what I mean. It's a weird thing to say about a fictional 10-year-old. Sorry, I take that back. I don't really ship a lot of fictional characters. Hmm, it's a good one. That is a good question. Uh, have I ever written a fan fiction? I have actually. I wrote a Gundam Wing fan fiction when I was in ninth grade. I'd forgotten about that actually. I was a big fan. Always have been a big fan of the Gundam series. All of the Gundam series. Well, not Gundam. Uh, not one that I was a fan. Anyway, and the fan fiction actually it had less to do with the actual series than anything else. It just created a bunch of characters that were part of the Gundam world and then had them interact. Yeah, touching that one. I don't know that there is a way to touch that one. I also ship T, and I ship antiques. That's not true. I have no shipping business. I am a very, very poor person. Please like and subscribe to all my videos and share them with your friends because I need the views. You didn't lose her. She left you. If I had to take you into a store. No, but in all seriousness, Jared and I, we have a back and forth. So, do I have a crush on any anime character? Okay. Well, no. Uh, I have favorite anime characters. Don't get me wrong, and some of them are female. So I'll tell you my top 3 female anime characters that are my favorites. There is there's Saya on Blood Plus. I love Saya. She's just, I mean, she's cute. And what guidelines do I use to write my fan fiction? Since that was the only story I ever wrote, I don't really have any guidelines. Back to Spike. Back to my top 3. So there's Saya, and then let's see here. Who else is on my top 3 female anime characters? That's weird for me to do a top 3 female anime characters. I mean, Ryoko, obviously, and Sasami. There we go. Top 3 was easy, actually. I'm actually a big fan of harem animes because I like fantasy and I like comedy. And if you want a good fantasy comedy anime, then for the most part, you have to go with harem. The same kind of holds true with sci-fi, but for the most part, there are good sci-fi comedies. Tenchi Muyo moves into the realm of a sci-fi fantasy comedy harem. For the most part, that's how I roll. High School DVD, that is DVD. That's one of my favorites. High School of the Dead. I love that anime, and I'm still waiting for that second season of High School of the Dead. Of course, I really don't know anybody who watches anime that doesn't love Cowboy Bebop. I mean, it's just a great anime. So Um, Now I'm just listing favorite animes. Tenchi Muyo is my Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki. You got to be specific with Tenchi. There's like 5 of them. Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki is probably my favorite. Uh, as far as Tenchis go, Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki is my all-time favorite. Then it's Tenchi Muyo GP. Then it's War on Geminar. What anime character would I say Trump is most like? Hard to say because most of the that's not nice. That's me. Harem anime is trash. There's a lot of really good, well-written harem animes. Shinji Murio, I return to that with you. Thank you, sir. Um, actually, I know exactly who he is. Have you ever watched Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Oki or Tenchi Muyo GXP? Then you know that the trainer for the Galaxy Police who trains. Oh man, it's been so long since I watched it. I've forgotten his name now. He's a pink-haired guy. Fights Sentry with a sword. Loses terribly. That's who he is. That's who Trump is. I'll look it up later. I feel terrible because I should have known. Anime specific questions? If not, I'm just going to keep talking about my favorites. I'm one of my favorites is Nura. It's Yokai, the Nora clan. It's muy bueno. What classic TV show would I like to see rebooted? I'd like to see a good Dark Waters reboot, not the crappy Johnny Depp movie we got, because Dark Waters that was an intense series, and it was well written, well written. Um, I'd like to see a good, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would. You're gonna think that I'm making this up, but the uh, oh, what's it called? It's about a robot 10-year-old, a little robot girl that this guy makes in his lab and then brings home to be his daughter. Oh my god, it's something Small Wonder. That's what it's called. I would like to see a Small Wonder reboot, just not because the show was good. It was at best, but just because I'm curious what would be done with that show now. What would be done, especially with the new effects that we have, the social situations that we have now, the society at large, how different it is from the 80s to now, and our advancements in robotics. Something that happens to me that I'm pretty sure doesn't happen to anyone else. I I got nothing. I'm typical of the American at large, I believe. Boku no Piku Rebo. Oh, reboot. Oh, I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to do a description of that for me. Um, Boxer briefs. Yeah, that's right. I compromise. It's the name of the game, son. Get with it. Come at me. Um, there's a lot of things that are good that I'd like to see rebooted. There are a lot of things that they haven't done yet that I'd love to see made into a show. Um, that's right, Jesse play hard. But yeah, there are a lot of things I'd love to see made into a show. Actually, I got my wish on one of those things. I've been wanting to see a American Gods movie for so long, and Stars did the show. It's 8 episodes long, and I'm almost 1,000,000% that we're getting a second season of this. And they were so true to the book. It was so well done. It was amazing. And and that's great. I love that. I'd love to see a Wheel of Time series. I think a Wheel of Time series would be really good. I think that a lot of people have read Wheel of Time, are fans, and I think that there's enough of us combined to ensure awesome ratings. So if Hollywood could just get on that for me, that would be awesome. Also, which pony is best pony? I don't understand the question. Are you asking which pony in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is the best pony? Because the answer is Rainbow Dash, son. That's right. Jesse had an answer prepared. I have no idea who any of them are. That's the only one I know. Exactly. That's right. Sit down. Pretty sure that's a movie. Guy, are you okay? Um, yeah, a good Sword of Truth series because Legend of the Seeker was garbage. Okay. Um, as far as things, I think that Aragon kind of deserves another shot at being a movie. Not because the books were any good, but because Jeremy Irons is my hero. And I think that he needs. Have I ever been to the dark web? No, no, I have not. Let me tell you why, and we'll get back to Jeremy Irons in a minute. Let me tell you why I've never been to the dark web. I like sleeping at night. There's some scary shit on the dark web. There's some creepy shit on the dark web. I ain't about that life. I do know some of the stuff on the dark web. I am an avid subscriber of Matthew Santoro, and I have watched his dark web list top 10 things he found on the dark web. That is dedication, sir. Good on you. I think the internet's a wonderful place. And I think it's fantastic that people of all kinds can get together, connect, and share their common interests. With that being said, it leaves open a lot of terrible things. So, you're kind of making my point here for me, guy. You're really making a point here for me, guy. I've seen Taken, okay? I know what happens when you buy people. I know what happens. Then you have Neeson for an hour and a half. And no one should have to hang out with Liam Neeson for an hour and a half. All right? Was a fantastic actor. He was. He was fantastic. Great Irishman. But if I have to sit through have I seen Requiem for a Dream? Beautiful movie. It's a beautiful movie. Fantastic. And the concept. The concept. I don't think we're talking about the same Requiem for a Dream then. So, previously on Project Overload, we have talked about my favorite mindfuck movie, um, Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger version. Okay, not the remake. Been a remake. You cannot reenact the beauty that is Arnold Schwarzenegger freaking out for 2 hours and then not even knowing. I don't even know if I've actually bought the movie. That's how much of a mindfuck that movie is. Do I praise Lord Helix? Are you talking about the TV series Helix? Because no, I have not actually ever once seen an episode. So there is that. Chin Chin. Are you talking about the anime character with the huge head and he's like a elementary school kid? Because hmm, kind of funny sometimes. I don't think a lot of the jokes translate very well. The problem with a lot of Japanese properties is that the jokes don't translate into English very well. Uh, I know there are a couple of properties where the names are actually puns, and the puns don't make sense in English, so you kind of miss out on them. The Japanese love puns, by the way. Shin-chan, that's what I was talking about. Thank you. The Japanese love puns, love them, and they love to joke about sex. The whole nosebleed thing, that's from an old wives' tale in Japan that states that if a man can't have sex quickly enough, once he's become aroused, he will bleed and die. So there's that. A lot of big things have happened recently. In the last week since we last spoke, the Graham Cassidy bill failed. Talk about. I mean, okay if you want to. Things to do, and it is necessary for procreation. The Graham Cassidy bill failed. We are on the brink of war with North Korea because two egomaniacs can't stop insulting each other. What misconceptions did I have about sex as a child? What about sex as a child? Not really. I suppose one misconception I had about it, I viewed it very seriously through a religious lens, and I was all about some waiting till you're married. However, as I've gotten older and become a much more accepting individual, uh, you thought that's a thing to think. That is a thing to think. I didn't understand what those were as a kid. Did not understand it. Still kind of don't understand it. Whole thing. You have to kind of have it happen to you in order to truly understand and appreciate the full value of what's going on. Interestingly enough, Rocket Man was a Disney picture. I believe it was the early 90s, about a man who fought Nazis by flying around with a single cylinder rocket strapped to his back. Yeah, that's a thing. Look it up. It's also a spoken word love poem by William Shatner. Uh, Although most commonly, it is an amazing song by, yeah, true story. Uh, I am not a rocket man because I am I had the opportunity to set the live chat for holding comments that would seem, and I chose not to because I thought it would be a good what was on their mind. I'm a huge fan of Young Link, so my personal favorite has always been Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So that's my favorite so far. Although I enjoy playing all of the Legend of Zelda games. Twilight Princess. Yeah, actually, that's a great one. A good game. I prefer Majora's Mask is, like I said, it's one of my favorites. To as far as Twilight Princess goes, I prefer. Everyone just really loves Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I mean, it's where the timeline split. So, uh, so you can kind of play it as though it's least favorite. The Magic Train. What is it? Spirit Tracks, I believe that's what it's called. I can never remember the name. I didn't enjoy playing it, and so I just always refer to it as Magic Train. Time Majora's Mask for Life, son. Um, so as far as favorite video game of all time, favorite video game of all time, I think that my favorite video game of all time is Civilization. Let me tell you why. I love builders. I love RTSs. I'm a Warcraft 3 fan. If I hadn't said Civilization series, I would have definitely 100% said Warcraft 3. That's my favorite of the Warcrafts. Look, let me tell you about Warcraft for a second, okay? Who is the best Batman? I'm gonna tell you in a second who the best Batman is. I like the Warcraft movie. I did. Not as much as say a lot of other things. I thought a Warcraft movie would have been awesome. I've been saying it for years because Blizzard is amazing at making cutscenes. They're just amazing. Man, YouTube is intense now. Put that message out there, but it's out there. But no, okay. So back to Batman. My favorite Batman is it's gonna be 80s and early 90s, bro. It's Beetlejuice for me, man. Beetlejuice. So, blanked on his name too. Help me out, Jared. Oh God, Tim Burton is one of my favorite. Is one of my favorite directors for the Batman series. One of them, and I enjoy take on the character. Enjoyed Batman and Batman Returns. They were way, way sweet. And the Gothic style, Michael Keaton, thank you very much, Lauren. Favorite Batman. And the story was so good. Tim Burton could have made another 2 or 3 Batman movies before, and he didn't. Do with marketing for toys. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I like Punisher. I like the character. My brother is a huge fan of Punisher. Huge fan. He's got this Punisher motto tattooed on his arm. So back to what I was saying about Batman. So Tim Burton could have continued making Batman movies. Uh, they had a problem with the Penguin in Batman Returns. He's basically covered in black blood and goo and ooze and trying to hump anything that moves for the entire film. Something that you can market to kids, which is what the partners of Time Warner were trying to do. And that's true. That's true. And so in the next film, they brought in Bruckheimer, and he made a much more kid-friendly Batman film, which is strange because you don't really think of him as doing that at that time period. So basically, the Penguin, the Penguin and McDonald's in combination got Tim Burton fired, but that's fine because then he went on to make some really great films. Are you talking about the Penguin? Because yes. Or are you talking about Tim Burton? Because I don't know that. My Grizzly Batman voice? I'm Batman. That's my Grizzly Batman voice. Where is it? I could play Batman. Hire me. Hire me to play Batman. We'll have the first fat Batman. The first. Who do I think is going to be the other hero in the new Punisher show? This is a good question. Well, I mean, come on. 1992 was the best time for Batman. You got Conroy as Batman. You got Hamilton as the Joker. Everything is great. Channing Tatum for Penguin. Oh Lord. As for who the next hero is going to be in the new Punisher show, I don't know. They have a lot to work with. Frank Castle had a lot of interaction with the supernatural in the Punisher, surprisingly. So there's a lot of opportunity for sort of the supernatural to be brought in there. I'd love to see Blade. I like the Blade movies. They were pretty good. They weren't the best representation of Blade, but I think that Wesley Snipes did an excellent job itself. So I would love to see Blade. I'd love to see Blade up and running with the Punisher. I think that they could do a pretty good job. Moon Knight. I don't know. I don't know. Who would you like to see? 'Cause I don't really have that strong of an opinion on it, to be honest. I mean, like I said, I'd love to see Blade. I'd like to see some of the more supernatural characters moving in there. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite superheroes in the Marvel franchise, as well as Thor being another one. That mostly because of Moon Knight. Well, I should have known because you asked about that. Thor is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel series, mostly because of my interest in Norse mythology. But you get about that much of the Norse mythology in Thor in reality. So he got his own comic, which is awesome. But yeah, I'd really like to see Netflix move more towards some of the more supernatural characters. You saw some of that in Marvel's Agents of Shield. So with Marvel villains are better than DC a lot of the time, with the exception of a few. The Joker is an amazing DC character villain. Reverse Flash is fantastic. Those are about my two favorites, really. Is Another one is Darkseid. Darkseid's cool. Is a cool villain. Brainiac is a cool villain. Lex Luthor is always one of the best villains. As far as Marvel villains, uh, go, I like a lot of the Marvel villains. I like Loki. He's always fun. The Leader is a fun Marvel villain. I'm not really huge on many Iron Man villains. I mean, there's a couple. The Mandarin's cool. Black Manta is a cool DC villain. I like Black Manta. I like Black Manta a lot more than Aquaman's brother, who I can never remember what his name is. Power Rangers are cool. I watched back in '93 when they first came out, so I'm OG on that. Oh, there's that. Didn't Bill Pullman pass away? I remember reading somewhere that Bill Pullman passed away. That's really sad if it's true. Major news for those of you who are watching. We lost an icon this past week. We lost Hugh Hefner at 91. He passed away. So the Stan Lee of porn is dead. There's a new Star Trek. It's Star Trek Discovery. The first episode is free, but I hear you have to pay. You have to pay after that, and it's a to be continued episode. So, really trying to rake in the money on that. Back to, you don't feel strongly about Hefner? I don't know. As a guy, you hear his name a lot growing up. It's just kind of assumed that you're always reading porn or watching porn or something, and then it's not entirely accurate. I mean, that's not all I do all day. I also do dishes. Have I seen the Orville? I have not seen the Orville, but I desperately want to. It's a spoof of Star Trek. Who doesn't want to see that? I'm a major Trekkie. I've been told wonderful things about it. I so want to watch it. I'm desperate to do so. If anyone wants to hook me up with episodes of the Orville, I will love you forever. Bill Paxton died. Okay, thank you. As far as Star Treks go, you have the new Star Trek coming out. My favorite Star Trek is Voyager. I know. It's not a Roddenberry. It's not original Roddenberry. You get original Roddenberry. You got Star Trek and you got Next Generation, and then you got Deep Space Nine, which is based on the characters created by Gene Roddenberry. You got Star Trek Voyager, which is based on the characters by Gene Roddenberry, and then you got Enterprise, which is based on the characters by Gene Roddenberry. I like Voyager is my favorite, and then it's Enterprise, and then it's Deep Space Nine is my third, and that only applies to those who are not original Gene Roddenberrys. Now, as far as the first Star Trek and Star Trek: The Next Generation, Picard for life. Next Generation is what I grew up on. The first episode came out in '88, I think, and I grew up watching it in the '90s. It ran for so long. I mean, there wasn't a time when I was a kid growing up that you could click on the TV, Generation wouldn't be playing somewhere. I'm kind of sad that it doesn't still play, really. You would think that a show like that would just continue forever. Patrick Stewart, an amazing actor, really found his chops as Picard, I think. But I mean, even before Next Gen, Patrick Stewart's doing great for himself. And I mean, have you seen the Patrick Stewart A Christmas Carol? Patrick Stewart is Ebenezer Scrooge. It's an amazing film, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Oh my god, I just remembered another movie that I watched when I was a kid. It was a movie about Gandhi. Great film. If you watch anything that you can about Gandhi, be honest. I mean, everyone should know everything about Gandhi. Um, so you guys, definitely figure that out. Oh yeah, I mean, David Tennant was one of my favorite doctors. Eccleston is great. Tennant's amazing. I mean, he was the doctor. He was everyone's doctor. Let's be honest. If you're a millennial, Tennant was your doctor. I love Smith. As soon as I got used to Smith, as soon as I got on board the Smith train, dude, I'm so looking forward to Infinity War. I'm so looking forward to it. As soon as I got on the Smith train, he's gone, and then Capaldi's here. Now Capaldi's gone. You got the female doctor, which I think is fantastic. I mean, we've talked about it before on Project Overload, how we both think it's fantastic that there's a female doctor now. And this actress, I've seen some of the stuff she's done, and she's an amazing actress, and she's really going to bring a lot to the show. So that's amazing. Big fan of classical doctors. Yeah, I've also been a fan of classical doctors. I love the third Doctor. He's one of my favorites. The fourth, Tom. Oh, good Lord, I can't remember his name now, but he was the Doctor far longer than anyone else was. He's like the most famous, iconic Doctor. And then there was the seventh Doctor was fantastic. The eighth Doctor was in the movie, and I don't know if you saw the movie. It's a 1996 Doctor Who movie. It takes place in Los Angeles, and it is the Doctor who became human somehow. He basically became a human when he went through his regeneration. So that's cool. I saw a commercial for Infinity War, jumping back on the Marvel train for a minute. I saw a commercial for Infinity War. I finally saw the preview for it, and it looks amazing. It's basically just a teaser, but I'm going to catch Thor Ragnarok, and then I'm going to catch Infinity War, and they're both going to be awesome, and I'm going to love it. Let's just get that down now. It's going to be great. That's a lot of the stuff that's going on. I mean, that's a lot of the stuff we've talked about, and we're going to continue to talk about a lot of this stuff. If you have a suggestion for the next episode of Project Overload, let us know. We all know your opinion on Thor, Jared. We're all familiar. All right. We have run about an hour now, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Thank you all for viewing. Thank you all for your support of our channel. It really makes us feel very happy and very strongly towards you guys, because you come and you support us and you watch us or you listen to our podcast, or you comment, you like our videos, and you guys are amazing. We're really thankful for our fans. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Catch us on our next episode. We will be talking about our favorite video game-based movies. On our last episode, we talked about our top hated, so catch us for our favorite ones. All right, and you guys have a great night, and I will catch you guys later.